This is the day. Just see it shine when all I've lived for becomes mine. This is the moment. This is the hour when my life opens and blooms like a lotus flower. Give me this moment, this moment, or I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment, my final test. I study reckoned, I never reckoned second best. I know now, I'm not far, but this is the moment, the greatest moment of
And please welcome Reverend Patty Mercado.
Thank you, Wade. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How's everybody doing after that amazing turkey day? Oh, it was so good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So good to be filled with gratitude and thanksgiving and appreciation for who we are, for those moments, for that sweet moment, this moment in time, where we get to recognize and know the full presence and power and authority of God. It's right here. So, this month we've had the privilege and the honor of getting to hear from some of our members who have been sharing with us about what it means to them to be part of our community. And you know, we do this for a reason, we do this for purpose, for that person to get to experience sharing what it means to be part of our community, but also to remind us to take a look at that, to think about that, why it matters to us that we're here, because gosh, if you didn't know, you matter. You do. So this morning we have the great privilege of hearing from Ken Roebuck, so I invite him up to share with us about his actually here. Thank you again, Wade. I'm so grateful for Wade today already. Thank you, Ken.
Good morning. They asked me to talk about a couple of things. First of all, how did I get here? Second of all, why do I keep coming back? Good question. How did I get here? Well, first of all, let me insert a little thought. Wishes and treatments overlap. The reason I came here, first of all, was because a friend of mine that I worked with told me there were some really cool single women in this church, and I was looking for a girlfriend. Okay, it happened. I came to this church on a Sunday morning. The choir was singing, and guess who was in the choir? That was 24 years ago. Okay. What's kind of crazy is the very following Monday from that Sunday, I was singing in the choir. And I've been singing in that choir for 24 years. So obviously, one of the things that drew me to this place was the music. I've been through 6 choir directors. I'm still here. There's still wonderful music, and every choir director has gotten better and better. So one of the reasons I am here is the music. When you hear, give me my hand. Come on. Yeah. Sometimes, if the talk doesn't turn your crank and make you think, it's the music, the powerful song, or maybe it's just 1 or 2 lines in a treatment that get your bell. Or maybe you don't even think about it. For me, sometimes I'm halfway through the afternoon when it hits. Whoa, that was strong. But what really happened to me was the first Sunday I came here, I heard, regardless of who you are welcome on your spiritual journey. And you're whole, complete, and perfect, just the way you are. I will tell you without fear of contradiction, Dr. Jackie was talking to nobody else but me. For 10 years, I listened to that lady, and there could be 100 people in the congregation, but the only person she was talking to was me. That's why I keep coming back. One, I found out that this little tricky thing called treatment has an amazing effect. Almost 3 years ago come March, had a little health challenge with a thing called cancer. Connected with Judy, connected with several other folks who connected themselves without me asking to treat and guide me through that little process. To the extent that I went to a lot of professional umpiring. I was supposed to be off the ball field for 6 to 8 weeks. 4 weeks after the surgery, I was back on the ball field. That is so much. The point is this. When you allow yourself to understand, well, I allow myself to understand, that inside of me is a spirit just busting the lead out. When I have the avenue of music and all you family members to work with, I say that's why Ken Roebuck comes back every Sunday. Thank you.
So if you haven't shared your story of why you're here, I invite you to do so at some point. Find a friend, find me, find someone, and share, because it's a really powerful and exciting and wonderful experience to do. So I'm doing things a little bit out of order today, just to kind of keep things shook up. I want to just reference 2 books that I'm not going to do anything more than just highly, highly, highly recommend, because they're really powerful and magnificent. The first one is The Soul of Money by Lynn Twist. If you don't have it, I just recommend that you have it. I won't use the should word on you. But I love it, and I love her. And the other book is Soul Currency by Ernest Chu. Both fabulous reads if you're interested in transforming your relationship with money. Now, so you might question, why is it that we're talking about money in the month of gratitude? Doesn't that seem a little different than normal? I thought so, and yet, it's a powerful time to consider our connection and our relationship with God, the divine, in the form of money, because who doesn't have money in their life? Please tell me if you don't. If you've managed to live in this world of this world and not use the energy, the form of God, in money. Yeah, we all do, right? And we all have this great history with money. And we all have this great history with the divine. And when we can bridge that money and gratitude experience, magic happens. So, here's where we step out of order. I'm going to start with the treatment. And the reason I'm starting with this treatment is because I think it's powerful. It's written by Dr. Raymond Charles Barker. If you don't know who he is, I highly recommend that you look him up. Great guy. And it sets the foundation for the rest of the talk. So, go within and enjoy. The money treatment. I now subconsciously accept this in my mind. There is only one creative cause, God. There's only one mind, God. There's only one life, God. There's only one substance, God. This present universe is the glory of God. It is moving, flexible, fluidic creation. It is alive with the life, the abundance, and the richness of God. I abide in prosperity. Mind created me in order that it might act through me. Therefore, I am receptive to its abundance. I am receptive to its circulation in my life in the form of money. Money is God's idea of circulation in my world of finance. I accept this idea completely. I appreciate this idea. I like it. Money, being God in action, is absolute good. It is wholesome. It is a blessing to me, and I am now prospered with it. I have no fear of lack, for I believe that I have plenty of money. It is God's activity in my world. It is God's activity in my bank account. It is God's activity in my investments. It is God's activity in everything to which I lay my hands. This money is flowing. This money is free. I do not attempt to lock it up. I do not put a fence around it. It is God's money. I let it flow in. I let it flow out. As I release it, I know that it comes back to me, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I am now free in money. I rejoice in it. I appreciate it, and I thank God for it. I have money forevermore. And so it is. Raymond Charles Barker, thank you. Maya Angelou, the amazing Maya Angelou, shared with us, when we give cheerfully and accept gratefully, everyone is blessed. Have you noticed a difference in your being when you give graciously and generously and happily? And on the alternative side, when it's a hardship, when you're giving out of obligation, or maybe I should just talk to me. I've noticed it. When I'm giving out of obligation or really wishing I didn't have to, or fear, I notice there's a difference in my being. I notice it. Money comes in many shapes and sizes. Our son is in, where is he right now? He's in Krakow, Poland, but he just came from Nepal, where the money, the currency there is a rupee, right? And so $1 is 100 rupees, right? That's a big difference, but it's all the same. It's money. It's money. It's what we do with it that matters. So, have you ever heard that phrase, there's nothing big or small? Our thinking makes it so. When we're thinking about our money, if we can get out of the idea that, oh, I have $1, or oh, I have a penny, or I have a rupee, or I have whatever a bigger dollar denomination is, $10,000. And remember that what we're doing is we are putting into the flow of life the energy of spirit. So there's a lot of God here this morning. I like the word. If you don't like the word, use another one. The title of the talk is Money is God in Action. But you know, if that doesn't work for you, how about money is spirit in action? How about money is divine mind in action? How about money is love in action? What happens when we consider that our money is love in action? Is there a shift? There was for me. Yeah, when I first was noticing the schedule and that this was my talk, I thought, oh, heck no. And then I really got into it. And I have to tell you, I did fall in love with the idea of money as love, spirit, the divine, creative mind, divine intelligence, God in action. It is the flow of goodness. It is the flow of divine purpose. There is a power for good in the universe, and I use it. Oh my goodness. Every time I'm using my money, I am putting that power for good into action in the world. Every time I write that check, I am doing good in the world because I am honoring the activity of God, the activity of life. So, Ernest Holmes, if you don't know who Ernest Holmes is, he is the founder of religious science, and he wrote the book, The Science of Mind. And he says to us, your recognition of this law, your acceptance of it, your prayer of affirmation about it causes this presence to respond to you in a new way. It rises to meet your expectation, your faith, your conviction, and your acceptance. And so how I hear that, when we get in right relationship with money, everything changes. So, I don't know, maybe everybody here has got this figured out and just good with it. And even if we do have it figured out and we're really good with it, because I am pretty good with it, got to admit, there's always more, because life is always expanding, always moving outward, always, ever flowing forward. And so the last bit of words from Ernest that I want to share with you. And this has been on my monitor upstairs in my office, I don't know, maybe for a year. And when I was working on this talk, I said, oh my goodness, this is why it's been here. Just for this moment in time. Where is that moment? Our belief sets the limit of our demonstration of a principle which of itself is without limit. Should I do it again?
Yes.
Our belief sets the limit. Let's just get it. Let's just own it. My belief sets the limit of a demonstration of a principle which of itself is without limit. My belief sets that limit. So it's not a question of its willingness nor of its ability. It's a question of our own receptivity. How receptive are we? How willing am I to be in right relationship with the flow of God as money in my life? So you don't have to take my word for it. You can prove it to yourself. And I have a little challenge for us to prove it. All right? Anybody willing to play along, even before you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is, and you can decide for yourselves. Okay, so give thanks. Give thanks for and bless your cash every time you spend it. Give thanks for and bless that flow of divine currency every time you write your check. Give thanks and bless that good that is being given to the universe, shared in the universe, every time we use our credit card. It's not just plastic, it is the flow of love in life. It is the flow of good in the world. Okay, so does that mean that it matters how we're using our money? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Does it become important to recognize where we're giving our money? Mm-hmm. A couple of weeks ago, Dr. Maureen Hoyt was here, and did y'all hear the same thing I heard? Did you hear her say, "Where are you leaking money?" Did it stick with you like it stuck with me? Oh my goodness. Yes. All right, here's our challenge. Bless and give thanks every time we use our money. Every time we put divine love into action. Every time we use it. And I'm going to add a little bit more because, you guys are really good at that already. So I want to make it a challenge for you because I know that's probably really easy. So during this time period, I suggest a month when you're blessing and giving thanks every time you spend your money. I invite you to experiment with giving thanks for those things you do not yet see, for the good in your life that you do not yet see. We live in a reciprocal universe. As we give, so shall we receive. We bless the invisible substance and give thanks for its increase. The Bible says, "Blessed are they who, not having seen, still believe." Do you have a talent? Do you have a gift? Do you have a dream? Do you have something that's deep in your heart that's wanting to be shared? Bless it. Give thanks for it. Love it. And it will be revealed. Your pathway will be laid out before you. That is the power of gratitude. That is the power of blessing. That is the power of trust, of being still and knowing. This too is God. So I have a little story to share with you because it just really makes the demonstration so beautiful. And you might have heard this story before, but I'll share it with you. It's a story of a little boy who wanted to buy a miracle. So a little boy broke his piggy bank. He took the change and counted carefully, 3 times even. I must not make a mistake here, he thought to himself. He placed the coins in a jar, twisted on the cap, and quietly slipped out the door. After making his way to a drugstore, the boy waited patiently for the pharmacist to give him some attention. Finally, "What can I help you with, little friend?" the pharmacist asked the tiny boy in front of her counter. "I want to buy a miracle." "I beg your pardon?" said the pharmacist. "My sister is really sick, and my daddy said only a miracle can cure her now. So I want to get a miracle. How much? How much does a miracle cost?" "I'm sorry," the pharmacist said. Her voice broke a little. "We don't sell miracles here. I have money to pay for it. If it isn't enough, I will get more. Just tell me how much it costs." Next to the little boy, there was a man. He looked at the boy and asked, "What kind of miracle does your little sister need?" "I don't know," said the little boy, and tears are rolling down his cheeks now. "I just know she's very sick and something bad is growing in her head. Doctors said she needed an operation, but Daddy can't pay for it, so we need a miracle to save her. Please, I can use all my money to to save my sister. How much will it cost? The man asked the little boy, how much money do you have? $1.12. The boy answered, it's all I have, but I can get more if needed. And the man smiles and he says, what a coincidence, $1.12. That is the exact price of a miracle for a little sister. He took the boy's money in one hand and he took his hand in the other, and he gently said, take me to your sister. Let's see if I have the miracle she needs. And that man, he was the director of a reputed hospital, and he was just the right person to save that little girl's life. And that operation, it was completed without any charges, and it wasn't long before the little boy's sister was home again, doing very well. And as they're sitting around their family couch, the mommy whispered, that surgery, it was a real miracle. I wonder how much it would have cost. And that little boy smiled, because he knew exactly how much a miracle costs. $1. 12 cents. So is a penny less powerful than a dollar? Is a credit card more powerful than a checking account? A penny by itself doesn't buy a whole lot, but a penny combined with other pennies, with a high intention behind it, it creates miracles. It funds miracles. My money is God in action. I choose to remember this when I'm using it. I choose to remember this when I'm buying a gift, when I'm paying a bill, when I'm pumping my gas, when I'm writing my tithe, when I'm combining my money with other people's money like we do here for something good that is going on, when I'm recognizing and knowing that my money is combined with yours and that together we're doing great work, oh yeah, I feel really good about my money. I feel really good about what's going on. But you know, sometimes I look at my money and it's dingy, it's torn up, it's beat up. Sometimes I look at it and I think, how could it be worth anything? This is not about the money, right? It's about the intention behind it. Sometimes we get caught up in the way things look. Sometimes we forget to remember the power behind it. So when you take your money out of your wallet, whether it's in the form of a credit card or your checkbook, if anybody still uses that anymore, or cash, if anyone still uses that anymore, it's really fun to use. I like it. Let's all remember that that is God in action. That is love in action. That is creativity and beauty in action. And that when we're holding it, we're seeing the divine. There's a power for good in the universe, and I can use it. And you know, the funny thing is about money, it's just one form of God. The greatest form that I see before me of God is us. The greatest form that I get to interact with in a meaningful and purposeful way is us. And I don't know about you guys, but have you ever forgotten when you're looking at someone that they're the divine? I might be the only one that it's ever happened to. It was a long time ago. I was really young. Okay, it was last week and it was my beloved. But I only forgot for a day. But it happens, true?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's good to remember that who we are matters, that we're looking at the beloved, that there's something magnificent that's going on. There was a song that was written in 1988. It was written by Libby Roderick. That might already tell you where I'm going with this. I'm just going to tell you the lyrics, and then we're going to share them together. Because I'm so moved by this. The first time I heard it, it changed my life forever. So I want you to just close your eyes and hear these words, and then I want us to share them together. And I promise I won't sing. The beloveds will. I'm going to go right here because I want you to see them. You don't have to sing it, but if you know the words, join in. Just take a look around at who's with us. These beautiful beings of light. How could anyone ever tell you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you are connected to my soul. Let's do it again.
How could anyone ever tell you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
I love you so much. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much for your prayer. What a beautiful, powerful thing. I'm so glad I don't have have to sing now. Verklempt. But please welcome back Michael Paul Smith.
What a wonderful presentation. I always sign, I'll just share with you just quickly what I do when I write a check. I write GIMS, which stands for God is my source. And I also put AB, which I am abundantly blessed. So no matter what, if I'm writing a check for $5 or $1,500, not $5,000, not yet, I haven't gotten there yet. We get there. But that's what I do, and it's, thank you for that, because it's love in action, no doubt. It's a song I hope you enjoy. It's one of my favorite called What a Wonderful World. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright, blessed day and the dark, sacred night. And I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, Michael, I love you. I love you too. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, oh, it's a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful, yes, it's a wonderful world. Oh,
Michael Paul Smith, thank
Thank you so much. He's going to be speaking on a Wednesday wisdom service, February. Oh, so be on the lookout. Yes. It's time for our offering. For our stewards to come forward, please. Before we do the offering, we have a vision here at our center, and I'd like you to read it with me. Surrounded by a beautiful natural garden, our new spiritual homes feel sacred, joyful, peaceful, welcoming, spacious, and airy, with plenty of room for individual expression and community growth. That feels good, doesn't it? And as we take our gift in our hand, please repeat after me. My offering is God expressing.
My offering is God expressing.
Giving and receiving with love.
Giving and receiving with love.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
God is so good.
God is so good.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So you know how synchronicity is kind of an amazing thing. So I chose this piece for offertory, sort of remembering what our theme was, but it's called Breakfast at Tiffany's. How perfect is that?